All right, let's get right into it. If you're in your 20s right now, the year 2030, it probably feels like it's ages away, right? But let's just break that down for a second. Believe it or not, 2030 is less than 2,000 days away. And when you think about it like that, wow, that's really not a lot of time to build the financial life you're dreaming of. That's why having a solid plan, like right now, is so important. And this right here, this is the uncomfortable truth for way too many of us. You know, the most frustrating part is that it's got nothing to do with not working hard. People are out there grinding, working incredibly hard. The real issue? It's a lack of a clear roadmap, a picture of what being financially stable at 30 actually looks like. Okay, let's just be real for a minute. It is tough out there in Ghana right now, financially speaking. I mean, the cedi has taken a hit. Inflation is just eating away at our salaries. You might be looking at your paycheck thinking, hey, I'm earning more than ever, but you feel poorer. Sound familiar? I mean, just look at this example. A bag of rice. A couple of years ago, 80 cedis. Today, 180 cedis. That's more than double. And that's not just some number on a screen, right? That's your actual grocery bill. That's your budget getting squeezed. That's real life. But here's the thing, and this is what a lot of people are missing. This decade, the 2020s, this is your golden window of opportunity. The clock is ticking, for real. And the choices you make, starting today, will literally define whether you hit 30 with momentum or if you're stuck at the starting line. So that's what we're here to do today. We're going to build that roadmap together. We're breaking down just five key decisions you need to make right now that can totally change where you end up financially. All right, so the first 2 points. Think of this as your financial defense. I know, it's not the sexy, exciting part, but trust me, it is the most important. This is about building a foundation, a solid floor under your feet so that if life tries to knock you down, you've got something to stand on. Job number 1, the absolute first priority, your emergency fund. What does that mean? It means having 3 to 6 months of your basic living expenses saved up. So if it costs you, say, 2,000 cedis a month to live, you're shooting for a goal of 6 to 12,000 cedis. And this money needs to be somewhere safe, somewhere you can get to it quickly. Think a high-yield savings account or maybe a Treasury bill. And here's why that's a game changer. Without that fund, a job loss is a complete disaster. It can throw your whole life into chaos. But with it, that same job loss is just a setback, a major inconvenience for sure, but it's a problem you can solve without everything falling apart. That is the power of this buffer. You know, a great way to think about it is like a spare tire in your car. You're not using it every day, right? In fact, you hope you never have to use it at all. But man, that one night you get a flat tire in the middle of nowhere, you will be so glad you have it. That's your emergency fund. Okay, so once you start building that defensive wall, we have to talk about the monster that just wrecks financial futures for so many people, high interest debt. And this quote, it says it all. You simply cannot invest your way out of 80% interest. You can't outrun it. And look at what we're talking about here. These payday loans, these quick mobile loans, they can have interest rates from 30% to over 100% a year. 100%. Just let that sink in for a second. There is no investment on planet Earth that's going to consistently beat that. This debt is like running a race with an anchor tied to your leg. So how do you fight this monster? You get a plan. It's called the debt avalanche method, and it is brutally effective. Step 1, list out every single debt you have. Step 2, find the one with the craziest high interest rate. Step 3, attack that one with everything you've got. Every extra cedi goes to killing it. Once it's gone, you take all that money and you game it at the next one. Yeah, it's not glamorous, but you know what? It works. Okay, let's just take a breath for a second. I want you to think about this for yourself. Of these first 2 things we talked about, building that emergency fund or tackling high-interest debt, which one hits home the hardest for you right now? Which one is screaming for your attention? Be honest with yourself. All right, so we've built our defense. The foundation is solid. Now, it's time to play offense. These next 3 steps are all about scoring points, about making your money start working for you and actively growing your wealth. This is where we get into what Einstein supposedly called the 8th wonder of the world, compound interest. There's this huge myth out there that investing is only for rich people. That is just not true. The most powerful ingredient for building wealth isn't a huge pile of cash. It's time. And right now, time is the one thing you have on your side. And this chart just shows it perfectly. Look at this. If you start investing just 300 CDs a month when you're 22, you end up with way more money than someone who waits until they're 35 and invests 1,000 CDs a month. How is that possible? It's the power of time. The takeaway here is simple. Start small, start messy, it doesn't matter. Just start now. Okay, now let's talk about something we all know, susu. It's an amazing system, right? A great way to save. But here's the catch. In a traditional susu, your money just rotates around. It doesn't actually grow. And by the time you're 30, you need your money to be doing more than just rotating. The real opportunity here is to take that amazing discipline you learned from susu and just upgrade it. Point it at something that grows. And I'm serious about this. Don't underestimate this habit. If you can consistently put money away every single month, you already have a financial superpower. So all we're saying is aim that superpower at a different target. Instead of putting it in the susu box, set up an automatic transfer into a mutual fund. Treat it exactly the same, but let it grow. And for our final offensive play, you need a second income stream. Let's be blunt. In this economy, having only one salary is like having a single point of failure. What if it disappears? A side hustle, even if it only brings in an extra 500 CDs a month, is a game changer. It gives you options. It lets you accelerate everything else we talked about, and honestly, it just lets you breathe. So we've talked defense, we've talked offense, but what's the end goal here? What does success actually look like when you turn 30? Let's get really clear on this because it's probably not what you think it is. This right here might be the most important thing you hear today. The goal is not to be rich by 30. Forget that pressure. It's paralyzing, it's unrealistic for most of us. The real goal, the one that's actually achievable and powerful, is to simply be building by 30. That's it. It means you have the systems in place, your foundation is solid, your money is working for you, you're on the right track. So there you have it. That's the roadmap. 1. Build your emergency fund. 2. Kill that high-interest debt. 3. Start investing now. 4. Upgrade your susu habit. And 5. Create a second income stream. That's it. That's the blueprint. So now you have the map, you have the knowledge, and you have fewer than 2,000 days to make it happen. So the only question left really is, what's the first small step you're going to take today?